Hi guys, Legendary Basil Games here. So, I've got a shorter video this time. This is like a different video about Link and the Legend of Zelda games and why he can't speak and all that. Me and my sister had a nice chat about why Link can't speak and why he doesn't actually talk, or at least that we can see or witness. In my own personal opinion, the reason why he doesn't speak is because he's mentally challenged in a way that most of us don't really understand. Well, not mentally challenged as much as I think he's probably autistic. I think that he's autistic, which that will give you the feeling like you don't really want to speak too much, or if you do, then it's kind of going to be only when you can respond emotionally because you're not emotionally there already. And I also think that that he has PTSD from all the crappy things that he went through. Those being the symptoms that he presents via him letting off steam, destroying pots, stealing things from houses and stuff, all the gems and stuff that he steals, and artifacts that he steals from temples and stuff, goes places that he's not really supposed to go. Well, he's not all there in the brain department. And he wasn't really taught any better by anyone else, because we learn in the game's lore that his parents died when he was a baby, and his father and mother, his father died in battle, and the House of Knights to the King. Basically, he died in the service, in the military, basically, and his mother ran away on a horse, and she was carrying him, and she later died in the forest. I don't know if that's part of the game's lore. I think it is, but the fact that doesn't really show us where she was buried, because let's be honest, those graphics, they wouldn't really show us much anyway if she was buried somewhere. And for all we know, she might be covered by the Deku's tree roots, or the Deku tree's tree roots, to be exact. And the Deku tree isn't much of a mentor when it comes to teaching other people what to do, except he's really smart and all that. But the fact that Link grows up in a place like that, in the forest, and is protected by the guardian patron deity of the place, and seeing that how it's run in general, kind of leaves me to wonder if the reason why Link actually does not talk is if he got with PTSD when he was a little bitty baby, if in the Hylian language, if he got bumped on the head. Sometimes with PTSD that does actually happens. It's called traumatic brain injury. I have one myself. I was told what happened way later on, and I got medicated for it, etc. But it also makes me think that what it was is kind of like, in the story of Dragon Ball Z. If you watch that as a show, Goku, the reason he turned out to be a good Saiyan and not be a complete and total dickhead is because his grandfather, not biologically, of course, because when Goku was on Earth, he's a Saiyan, and he doesn't know that he's a Saiyan. And the reason that being is because his non-biological grandfather adopted him, raised him as if he was his own grandson, because I don't think he ever had a grandson. I don't think it tells. Actually, I think it says that he never had any children at all. and he accidentally drops Goku down into a ravine, and Goku, being who he is now, he fell into the ravine and he bumped his head. And ravine being water, like a huge waterfall, way down at the bottom, where the rocks are kind of sharp and all that. He hit his head and he was injured and he nearly died. So, through that type of experience, I think that's part of the reason as to why Link does not talk. He's probably like injured. I'm using the manga version because it's a little bit, in my opinion, and it shows us things that you would not normally see in the game, because the game doesn't give us the answers we need for this kind of thing. Then I think the reason also is why Link does not talk the language he was supposed to anyway is because he lives in Kokiri Forest, and we don't really know if in the people in a Kokiri Forest speak another language from the Highlands, but I went on Google just because I was really curious, and it's been driving me crazy about the actual answer as to why Link does not speak. Actually, not why Link doesn't speak in specific, but if Kokiri people speak a different language, and Google saying that actually, yeah, they do speak a different language from the Kokiri Forest, and the other races in the world, they speak different languages too. So my theory is that it's a combination of him having very complex traumas, etc. Majora's Mask shows us perfect evidence of Link having a real pickle, basically, having a serious mental breakdown. It looks like half the time he doesn't even know where he's going, doesn't know what he's doing. He just knows he's the hero. He knows that's what he's supposed to do. But I have met a lot of people in my lifetime, especially now that I moved down to another state in general. But let's just be honest, they exist everywhere, in every country that you go to. There are going to be people that do not speak your language, and why they don't learn it, I don't exactly know. Whether it's because they don't possess the knowledge, or they're just unable to learn the language, etc. But my thing about Link is the reason why he doesn't speak has little to do with the fact that, oh, he's just really honorable. That would be boring. That would be blah. I think, in my own personal opinion, and this was like long before I even Googled it or anything like that, I thought, I wonder if the reason he doesn't actually speak is because he does not speak is because he actually does not speak the language that the other characters are speaking, and that's the reason he stays silent. I know that makes it really awkward for people that are like playing the games, but if you don't speak the language anyways, you're not really going to know what the other characters are saying and what to do and etc. And I've met a lot of people that are like very diverse. So this is a thing too. Is that I've met Spanish people that are fully blooded that way, that don't speak any English. I've met German people that are fully blooded German that don't speak any English at all. So, and if they do speak English, you can't even barely tell that it is English at all. Plus, I've met people that are fully blooded Italian too. So you can't really technically tell what they're saying unless they talk to you, but sometimes even when they do talk, even in the language that you speak, sometimes you can't always decipher what they're saying because they have such a thick accent. So, even in the English language, let me tell you right now, it is very, very hard to learn. Apparently, for somebody that isn't living in this country, initially, but if you are in the U.S. and if you go to any other part of the world that is not the U.S. or at least a mostly dominated country that speaks your language, you're going to run into a lot more people that are not able to communicate with you or speak your language, etc. So, that being like countries like pretty much any other region in the world that is a non-English speaking country, you do have people that speak English in other countries mostly, but since you're in another country that is like another country in general, you won't even know what they're saying because you will be the person that won't be able to speak their language and they will be frustrated at you and etc. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. And the fact that Link does actually show some traits of autism, which in autism, like as a diagnosis in the DSM-5, is categorized as someone who is not 100% able to 100% not able to learn certain topics, learn certain things, but sometimes there are people that cannot learn as fast as other people, and that is what autism is characterized by. And people in particular with autism have a difficult time learning stuff, learning certain topics, staying on having the attention span of being able to pay attention for longer than 2 seconds. That's in the really different part of the autism spectrum. I think ADHD and OCD is also part of the autism spectrum, although I don't officially know whether that is the definitive answer of why Link doesn't speak to other characters, but I think that the answer as to why he doesn't speak, I think that the thing as to, I think that this answer is, in my opinion, the best one that makes the most sense and why he doesn't speak. So, to wrap things off, I think that that's probably how we're going to say that Link can't speak. So, thank you. Like the video, subscribe to the page, turn on the notifications bell, comment on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!